Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subbie, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you are not on the winter solstice alignment activation session, you are missing out. Get on there. The link is in the description box below. And if you would like a description and all the rest of it of what it is and all the wonderful stuff that it's going to include, stay tuned. I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you, Aries, what is taking place for you this week. And this week, you get the Lovers as your destiny card, right? So this week it really is again all about love, right? This week though, I feel like it's about you making a decision, and for a lot of you I kind of feel like this comes down to your personal relationships. And when I say your personal relationships, for some of you this will be about your boyfriend, girlfriend, etc., significant other. But for a lot of you, this is about your familial relationships. That's what I feel this week. And the interesting thing is there's something coming through where it's like you're making a decision. I kind of feel like a lot of you are going through either some family squabbles or some family drama. And it's almost like you're being forced to choose, like you have to take a side. And this week, I feel like you're saying, you know what, I choose me. I choose my sanity. I choose not to be a part of all of the crap that's going on. When you guys have figured it out, you let me know. It's kind of like this week you're saying to yourself, you know what, I choose to stay out of it. I choose to mind my own business. Good for you, Aries, right? At the end of the day, sometimes we have to choose our own happiness and sometimes we have to choose our own sanity. And the best way to do that sometimes is just to not get involved in things that really kind of don't concern us. So your direction card, let's have a look, let's give it some clarity. It's about the strength card, right? So this week you might find that somebody or some people are trying to pull on the heartstrings. You might find this week that some people are trying to goad you into things and saying, oh well, you know, you don't care, you're being selfish, you're doing this, you're doing that. And it's kind of like this week you're saying to yourself, you know what, usually I would subscribe to all of that, but I'm not doing it anymore. It's kind of like you're making different decisions. Aries have been through a lot of change recently. Certainly in the last, I would say sort of 3 to 8 weeks. So the last like 2 months, you guys have been going through some shifts. It's almost like you're becoming a new and better version of yourself, right? It's like Aries 2.0, you know, which is fantastic. But the strength card is about what's at the heart of hearts, right? And the fact that this is your direction, this kind of says to me that you're more about whatever your karma has been, right? And I don't use that word lightly because, as many of you know, my understanding of what karma is and isn't is starting to change. Whatever your karma is or has been, this week you're kind of saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to create any more for myself. I'm going to cash in my chips and I'm going to take what's for me and I'm going to leave what isn't. And it's kind of like anybody that is trying emotionally manipulative tactics this week, you will kind of just say, look, you know what, I'm really not interested. I'm going to walk away, or I'm going to stand back and I'm just going to observe. You guys do your thing. You guys behave how you need to behave. No judgment, but also no involvement from me. This is about you really standing back. For some of you, for those of you that have children, it could be that one of the children is saying, you need to choose between us, you need to pick a side, and you're kind of saying, look, you know what, you're both my children, I'm not getting involved. You have your differences, you're doing your thing, that's fine, but you need to work it out between yourselves. You know, if you're big enough and adult enough to fight, then you're big enough and old enough to sort it out amongst you. You know, and you guys are just kind of standing back and saying, look, you know what, I'm not doing it, I'm not getting involved in that week. For some of you, this is about the office politics that's playing out. And I kind of, yeah, it's almost like you know, there's this whole thing of, well, whose side are you on? And you're like, you know what, we're not in the playground, I don't have time. And there you go, you get that Eight of Pentacles, right? So for a lot of you, this will be happening at work. This will see you having to, you know, not make a choice, but, you know, you might be presented with a choice. And for a lot of you, you're just kind of saying, you know what, I'm taking a step back from this. You guys do whatever you need to do. I will stand here as a silent sentinel and, you know, keep my opinions and my judgments to myself. When you're done, let me know and we'll continue on the path that we're supposed to be. For those of you that this relates to, family and whatnot, interestingly enough, you've got the Strength card, which is number 8, and then you've got the Eight of Pentacles. So this is a double up of 8 energy. The interesting thing is, by you staying out of things that don't necessarily concern you, you can focus on building your material success. You can focus on, there's a lot of power dynamics shifting amongst you at the moment. You know, you might be seeing a lot of this play out at the moment and saying, you know what, usually I'd go in like a bull in a china shop, but I'm going to keep my power to myself. I'm going to let other people use theirs how they use it. And once it's all done, you know, once it's all said and done, I'm stepping off the wheel of that karma because it no longer has anything to do with me. Very, very interesting indeed. So your word for the week is I'm seeing a pipeline. And ultimately, a pipeline is used to get something from one point to another point. One, by the shortest distance, and two, to keep it safe. And I kind of feel like for a lot of you, what the image that I have in my head is you've got a specific place that you want to be. There's something that you now want to bring into your life or want to manifest, and you can see how that can happen. What you're not prepared to do is to get sidetracked. So it's kind of like you're saying to yourself, I'm going to, for once in my life, I'm going to do this by the shortest way through. I'm not going to smash through anything. I'm not going to do the usual Aries thing and fight my way through it. I'm going to get myself from point A to point B, and I'm going to travel the shortest distance. And the best way for me to do that is to put my blinkers on and literally go from point A to point B. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, anything that hinders my journey, anything that is an obstacle is not for me. I'm going from here to here. I know where I want to be and ultimately how I'm going to get there. So let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. It's going to be a very interesting week. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.